These are the 4 DJI Ronins that are now on DJI stores. And with this video I wanted to solve a few of your questions and make you decide which one is better for you. Let's go inside. Hello guys and welcome again to a new We Talk UAV video. Today I wanted to divide this video into 2 different parts. First we're going to talk about this table that you're seeing now. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it in depth and you may pause the video later if you want. And then after that I want to talk about our feelings. Both Chivo and me have been now using all 4 Ronins for quite some time, so I thought that with the new features of the new Ronin SC2 and the RSC2 compared to the old generation, we can express a little bit how we felt when using the first one, how we feel now, if we think that they're important. So no more talking, I really want to share this with you and I'm really excited. Let's go. So let's start off with the price, because there is something really interesting right away. Of course, there's almost $300 difference between the Ronin S and the RS2, and this may really be an important decision. The difference between the SC and the SC2 is only $60, and let me just say also straight away, if you're planning on buying the SC version of the Ronin, go ahead for the SC2. There is no discussion, there is no question. Just for $60 more, you add more payload, you add more features, and you add many more things that are going to be important. When it comes to the Ronin S or the RS2, those $300 may be really important to you. So you'll see at the end of this video with the differences that we're going to talk if those $300 are really worth it, and if you can pay them if you really want to do so. Let's talk about the weight. I was just holding the Ronin S and the RS2 both in my hands. At that ½ kilo, which is like a pound, you really feel the difference. And honestly, trust me, if you are covering an event or a wedding or whatever you're doing, a pound, ½ kilo after 7, 8, 10 hours of working, you're gonna feel it. Your arms are gonna feel it and your body is gonna feel it. So this is really important. On the other hand, the SC2 has been increased, the weight has been increased by 200 grams. You don't really feel the difference. Now let's come to one of the most important things, the payload. Look at the increase of the RS2 over the Ronin S. It's been now like almost a kilo, which is like 2 pounds increased, and this makes that you are now capable of shooting with cameras on top of the Ronin that you weren't able before, with bigger lenses and like a Panasonic S1 with a big lens and all those cameras. So this may really be important, and the biggest improvement of course on the SC. As if you've seen our review, I was talking that I couldn't load the SC1 with this Sony camera, the big lens and the microphone on top of it. Now I can do it on the SC2 with no problem. So that kilo is really important. On the other hand, of course, the battery life has not changed too much. You have 12 hours on both the S and the RS2, and on the Ronin SC 11 hours up to 14 hours. Honestly, these numbers are, you never can really trust those numbers, but more or less, I'd say that there's no really big difference at all. So, well, and the charging time, kind of the same. They say everything has been improved. I don't know, I haven't just stopwatched everything in detail, but maybe it's a little bit faster on both the newest models. But well, if this is important to you, there you have another argument. Let's talk about the difference between the RS2 and the S1. Of course, the Titan algorithm, it helps you to make everything more smooth, more stable. That's supposed to enhance all the capabilities of this gimbal. Then we have the mechanical axis locks. As you can see, the previous model was a little bit like a broken arm, hanging around, so that helps you really a lot. The built-in screen, as you can see here, is quite helpful to set up some nice settings without using the phone. The frame is made out of carbon fiber, which makes it everything, much lighter and helps you not to indeed break your arm. And then you have this nice carrying case, which is pretty helpful, because before it was kind of a little bit of a struggle to always carry the Ronin S1 around. Then you have this wireless image transmitter. As we've covered this in the review, you can just use it for transmitting wirelessly to a bigger screen what you're filming. Now let's talk about the differences between the RSC2 and the RSC1. Also the Titan algorithm, but it didn't have the built-in screen. And as you can open this SC2 now, you can do 6 different configurations as we've covered them in the review. You have also that image transmitter working that we've been talking before. You have this quick portrait mode. By clicking, you can just enter portrait mode and do some nice stuff for your social media. And finally, of course, also the NATO ports and also the lightweight carrying case. Cool guys, when talking about stabilization, with all that Titan algorithm and all the new features that the newer models have brought us, we have the feeling, Tio and me, that the learning curve that we had on the first generation has been decreased. And we had some tough times back in the time, like 3 or 4 years ago, when the Ronin S was launched, to calibrate everything properly, to film smoothly. And you know, there was some time we had to learn it. We just had to learn it. We didn't have that time right now. I don't know if it's only due to that we've been using DJI Ronins for quite some time now. Of course, this makes some experience and this will help you for the newer model, let's say it that way. But overall, I have the feeling that they have just gotten really, really much easier. It is super easy. You have those mechanical axis locks, you have the auto calibration that you did not have before. And overall, the process of calibrating and using and then filming really smooth and cinematic all that way has been really eased a lot. As I have said a million times on this channel, I am in love with the SC model, and now with the RSC2 for almost the same price, with a screen now, with all the locks, with the Titan algorithm, with all that, there would not be any doubt for me at all. I just go for the RSC2 with no doubt. It's actually my favorite overall, 4 of them. So on the big model, the Ronin S, there is a big difference. And if you don't really struggle with the payload difference, I don't see the need really to purchase the newer model if that doesn't make, as I'm saying, a difference on your weight, on your payload, or on all that. Your arms will, of course, feel the difference, but if you're tight on a budget, 300 bucks is quite some money. I understand that, and I can strongly recommend to go for the first model. There's no problem at all. You will learn it. It works perfectly. I mean, both Chibo and me have been now doing tons of events and tons of stuff and filming for this channel, and you just get used to it. Of course, like everything in life, you get used to it. You manage to film almost perfect with the first generation of Ronin. So to the questions whether you have the first generation and want to jump to the second one, I don't really see a big difference here. I don't see really the need, and I'm honest here. I'm totally honest with you. I think that there is no real need, because the improvements, I mean, if you just have money and you can, you know, like this, no problem at all. But if you're not a billionaire, maybe you just want to stick with the first generation and you'll be happy with that too. Nothing really else to say, guys. I really hope that you liked this video. It was a bit different, a little bit more, you know, blah blah, but as you had been asking us quite a few times on our reviews of these models, here's the video for you. If you have any further questions, just leave them in the comments. I can test them for you. I can do anything you just want. Nothing really else to say, guys. Hope that you like this. Always remember to keep calm and talk to you.